everybody, it's the War Hipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting Zikkit's Tunnelpack. Yes, the other team from Embergard. More Skaven, who'd have thought, eh? Well, thankfully we've done quite a lot of Skaven here on the channel, so we are very prepared for how to paint these guys, so there shouldn't be anything that's too surprising here. And well, we're going to paint them all at the same time, basically. We'll point out the things that we need to as we go along, because there is some individuality, them being Skaven and all. It's a bit more of a kind of hodgepodge of things going on. So massive thank you to Games Workshop for sending me these early as part of Embergard, not Emberwatch, that's the other team. And well, they've all been primed in Grey Seer. And the colour we're going to be using first is Guilliman Flesh, and we're going to be applying this over the top of all of their skin and fur. So we're just going to start here on, I assume, Zikkit. And we're just going to work our way around. Across all 5 of our models. With all of that Guilliman Flesh applied, we're then going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over the top of the hair of all of our Skaven, excluding our little bomb rat. With that Wyldwood applied to all the others, for our little rat, we're going to take Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over top of all of the hair. With that Black Legion applied to our little rat, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson and we're going to apply this over top of all of the tails. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur and we're going to apply this over top of any teeth, claws, talons and noses. So with that all done, it's now time to move on to a different area. And, well, we're going to next move on to the robes, and exclusively to, assuming Zikkit, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy, and we're going to apply this over the top of the robe. With that Sigvald Burgundy applied, we're then going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey and we're going to apply this over the top of the robes of our other 3 Skaven. But not only are we going to do it once, we're going to do 2 layers of this. just like this sort of thing. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over top of all of the wood scattered around all of the miniatures. Now there's not a lot, there's this kind of barrel on the back of Zikkit, and there's the kind of frame of the Doom Wheel as well. Just like that sort of thing. And on the Doom Wheel we've got this whole section on the inside. So with that all done, there was actually a couple of extra bits of wood. We had the butt of the gun here, and we had also another barrel on the back of this individual, as well as the handles of these grenade-y things as well. Anyway, our next colour is Black Legion, and we're going to be applying this over, well, 2 of our rats. So we're going to be applying this over top of the armour here on Zikkit, as well as the big kind of, you could call it a ruff, I guess. Well, I guess it's a gorget slash breastplate. We're also going to be applying it over the top of this piece of armour just here. Like that. And then in addition to that, on our wheel we're going to be applying Black Legion over the top of the mask. So with that all done, it's now time for a long take. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Skeleton Horde, and we've got specific things that we need to do across all of our models. So the first place we're going to be using the Skeleton Horde is over the top of this kind of bandaging, just around the elbow of Zikkit. Like that. There we go. Perfect. Then what we're going to do, pop that to one side, and next up we're going to grab up our little rat lad, or rad for short, and we're going to apply the Skeleton Horde over the top of the sort of, well, it's not bandaging, it's the banding just here. Like so. I'm going to pop that to one side. And on our next one, which is this one, just here, we're going to apply this over the top of the bandaging, again, here on the mask. Like so, and we're going to apply this over the top of the gloves. like that. And there's a little bit of a grip just in there on the dagger, like that as well. Now we will do the other glove shortly, but we have our other individual just here, and we're going to apply this over the top of not the bandaging on this one, but we are instead going to apply this over the top of the rest of the kind of headgear. Like so. But then we are also going to apply this over the top of the hand wraps. Just here, like so. With all of that skeleton horde applied, we're then going to take some Ratling Grime and we're going to apply this over top of this part of the bandaging. Like so. And we're going to apply this over the top of the gloves of our wheel rider. One thing I definitely forgot to mention whilst doing the skeleton horde was we were going to apply this over the top of the wicks, or fuses on the bombs. So this one here on this individual and this one here on the little rat. However, we haven't done all of the ropes. What we need to do is we need to, for the ropes on this guy, we need to take some Gore-Grunta Fur. And we're going to apply this, as mentioned, over the top of the ropes. And with that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over the top of all of our remaining details. Not, good lord, not all of our remaining details. We're going to apply this over the top of all of our remaining leather details. Totally saved it. So with that all done, we're now going to use two colours, Warp Lightning and Terradon Turquoise, and we're going to use these on the Warp Stone, well the big ones, this one and the one on the wheel. And the two colours are going to be Warp Lightning and Terradon Turquoise. And we'll start by taking some Warp Lightning and we're going to apply this quite thickly over the top of the doodads, like that. There we go, just checking it from every angle. Yep. Now we're going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, and then we're going to grab up some Terradon Turquoise and we're going to apply this to the bottom of the doodads. like that, and then we can wash the brush once more, and then without any paint on it we can just go in and move those colours around to get a lovely blend like that. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Dark Angel's Green, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the cables and any remaining warpstone. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of, well, all of the remaining details across all of our miniatures, excluding the little flames. On the end of some of those fuses. With all of that Iron Warriors applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass, and we're going to use this to add a lot of extra variation, but we are going to add a different couple of colours after that to make it even better. So we're going to be applying this over areas such as decorative features and any of the kind of mechanical tanks and stuff like that, scattered all over our Skaven. And ultimately, anything that you see on the box art that is kind of a darker brownish metal or a kind of warmer orangey metal or anything like that, this is what we're going to do. We're applying this over the top. So just, as always, take your time and pick out all the bits that you want to be a different colour, or 3 different colours, and we'll come back in just a moment. So with that all done, we're now going to create those varied metallics. So we're going to start by taking some Gryph-Hound Orange. We're going to be applying this over the top of, well, any of the kind of warmest metallics that you want to make. So for example, these canisters, like so. We're also going to apply this over the top of this one back here as well. Which actually does go all the way up. Like so. We will also apply the Gryph-Hound Orange over the top of this section of the gun. like that. There we go. And then we're going to leave the other details. But as always, there's plenty to do here. So, for example, on this individual, we're going to apply the Gryph-Hound Orange over top of all of the bombs. We've got one here, another one there, that one just there as well. Just like that. We've got a couple more back here. Just like that. Pop that to one side. We have our little bomb rat. We're going to apply the Gryph-Hound Orange over top of the bomb. Like so. Next up, here's this little guy, and we're going to apply the Gryph-Hound Orange over the top of the knives and the canister on the back. Like that. Then we have this whole section. Like that. And we're just going to leave that vent there in the middle. Finally, we have this guy. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply the Gryph-Hound Orange over the top of the large shield. Oh, housing, I guess. Like that. And we're also going to apply it over the top of the canisters as well. Like so. And like this. With all that Gryph-Hound Orange applied, we're then going to take some Wyldwood, and we're going to use this to add our third metallic, well, fourth technically. We're just going to use this to pick out just a couple of little details here and there. So for example, I'm going to do this over top of this little doohickey there on the backpack like that, and on the wheel we're going to use this over the top of kind of casing back here. Like that. And that's kind of it, really. I mean, there's a couple of little other bits and bobs here and there where you could put it, and I kind of think this is sort of more dealer's choice at this point. It just kind of depends how much different variation and stuff you want going on your models. For example, you could do a little bit more around here, but I'm going to leave that for now. Over here, for example, on this one, just going to apply a little bit of this over the top of that vent back here. And with that Wyldwood now applied, we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to use this to shade all of our metallics. With that Agrax Earthshade all applied, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson. I'm going to use this to shade the robe of Zikkit. Finally, we're going to take two colours, Magmadroth Flame and Black Legion. I'm going to use this on our two little flames. So we're going to start by taking some Magmadroth Flame. I'm just going to apply this all over. Like so. Then we're going to wash the brush. Get rid of the water. And grab a little bit of Black Legion. And apply that over the tips of the flame, like so. I'm going to wash the brush, get rid of the water again, grab a small amount of Magmadroth Flame, and just use that to smooth out the transition between the two, like so. So with those shades applied, Zikkit's Tunnelpack are now what I would call a War Hipster battle ready. And I think they're looking pretty cool. However, we're not going to leave them there. Of course not. I'm going to take them to the next level and I'm going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, first of these is going to be some thinned down Dawnstone. We're going to use this to highlight all of the black details. Now at this point, there's not going to be any kind of deviation, as it were. We are just going to be kind of performing all the highlights across all of the colours. However, of course, this one does have the burgundy robes and the others do not, but that's pretty much the only difference here. And so with all that Dawnstone applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Administratum Grey and use this to pick out the sharpest points in the black. And with that then done, what I'm going to do is move on to the next colour, which is going to be some thinned down grey Seer. I'm going to use this to highlight the robes that we did with Gryph-Charger Grey. With that grey Seer applied to the other robes, we're going to take some thinned down pink Horror. I'm going to use this to highlight our burgundy robes. So with that pink Horror all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Karak Stone, and we're going to use this to highlight the fur of our Skaven. Just picking out the little strands in amongst all that brown. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh, and we're going to use this to highlight the skin across all of our rats. Next up, we're going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull. We're going to use this to pick out the teeth, and we're going to use this to highlight our Skeleton Horde bandaging. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Gorthor Brown, and we're going to use this to highlight our dark brown leather. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is going to take some thinned down Moot Green. I'm going to use this to highlight the Warp Stone and the green cables. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Breaker. And we're going to use this to highlight all of the silver. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our Gryph-Hound Orange. And with that Runelord Brass all applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Canoptek Alloy. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the Runelord brassy bits. Finally, we're going to take some Talassar Blue. And we're going to apply this over the top of any eye lenses. So with that all done, Zikkit's Tunnelpack are now all finished, as you can see. And they're looking pretty fantastic. However, there's just one last thing left to do, which is all of their bases. So we're going to very quickly run through those. And, well, the colour we're going to be using first is Cygor Brown. And we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the soil. With all that Cygor Brown applied, we're then going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over top of all the wood. Next up, we're going to take some Black Templar. I'm going to apply this over the top of any rocks. Next up, I'm going to take some Dark Angel's Green. I'm going to apply this over the top of the little pools. Next up, we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the metallic details on our bases. Next up, we're going to take some Tesseract Glow. We're going to apply this over the top of our little Dark Angel's green pools. And so with that then done, we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of that silver. Finally, just to finish things off, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Tyrant Skull. We're going to dry brush this over the top of the entirety of the bases. And so with that Tyrant Skull dry brush all applied to all 5 of our bases, Zikkit's Tunnelpack are now finished. And well, I've kind of enjoyed this one. It's basically like doing Clanrats. So I hope you guys are happy. There's at least 2 that are pretty much Clanrats here. So there you go. They're a really cool little set. And well, I might have to try and find some time to do the Plague Pack now, because they're cool as well. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.